Welcome to your daily focus for January the 9th, 2023. Today is one of those days. Do something related to your relationships, to creativity, to beauty, to making money. We'll get to all that energy and so much more. Let's start at the beginning. Let me introduce myself to you. I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. I was watching Varush the other day, and she brought up a very good point about people. People always say, you don't pop up in my notifications and stuff like that anymore as much as you do, or it's delayed. I don't get it on time. And what you do, because I have been around close to 10 years, I guess. Anyways, when you're around that long, and sometimes you come in and sometimes you go out. I do that with certain channels too, where I'm not always there. But, I go in and out when I seem to be pulled in that direction. Anyways, long and short of it, if you're having this issue, just unsubscribe and then subscribe and then hit the bell. Okay, if you really want to fly the algorithm so that it works for you, then like the video and leave a comment. Okay, and that kind of puts you right back into the algorithm, or maybe, yeah, I would assume. Varush only said the once, and I thought, that probably applies to a lot of people here, because I never had an answer for that before. So anyways, let's get to the important stuff, the reading of the day, the focus of the day. Where is our focus? Where does it need to be? Well, we have the 9 energy, so it is about completion. It's about clearing the pathway. It's about preparing for new things to come into our life, our path. Maybe it's thoughts, and we're turning them into reality. We're manifesting. We're transforming. We're giving birth to. We are creating. We are inventing. We can't do any of those things properly if there's too much clutter. So it's about releasing, letting go, putting completion on things, rearranging our schedule so that we have the time or the energy or the resources to do what we want to do, what we want to step into, what we want to grow and flourish. If we do the numerology of the day, we got a 1 plus a 9 plus a 7, which is a 17, and that's making the impossible possible. So believing that somehow it will be. Somehow it will be. My son flew halfway across the world, and it was his first. Anyways, we won't go down that path. Anyways, and everything was smooth. Everything was fine. And then he phoned me on that his flight got canceled and he was going to be stranded. And this is just after they started allowing us to fly places again. So it was kind of in that scrambled mess. And I woke up from a sound sleep to the phone ringing, and he says, "Oh, Mom, what am I going to do? My flight just got canceled." And I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It'll all work out. It'll be fine." And he goes, "Oh, okay, thanks, Mom." And he hung up. So I fell back asleep. And then the next morning, of course, I jolted out of bed like, "Oh my goodness, is he okay?" But he just needed to care to be okay, that it will work out, that he doesn't know how that's going to happen, how everything's going to come together, because it was adjoining flights that he was worried about. And anyways, long and short of it, it worked out. Okay, just let them handle all those details on how it's going to happen. Gain the belief in where you want to go, who you want to become, what you want to step into, what you want to manifest, what you want your reality to look like, what you want your best life ever to look like down the road. Now, if we go 1 plus 7, it's an 8 energy. Before we get too far here, the 8 energy is about abundance. It's about embracing your courage. It's about embracing your strength, of knowing that you are stronger and more courageous than you give yourself credit for. And in utilizing those strengths to move yourself forward, to take that step that you haven't taken for whatever reason. And there's a reason you haven't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be back here yet, right? You'd be over there. So what has been holding you back? Because remember, we have the 9 energy to utilize, to let go, to release, to complete, so it doesn't hold us back. Maybe it's healing we need. The 8 energy is about abundance, growing your abundance, walking with a sense of integrity. Your word is your honor. Your word is your bond. We have the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Leo. The moon in Leo, sometimes we expect or we get very disappointed if we don't get praised for what we do. So be careful of that. So, recognition is great and the glory that comes with it, but also just knowing that you did that should be more than enough, okay? So watch where you're trying to have that codependence of people having to comment on you, having to compliment you, having to, I wore this outfit and nobody said a word. I can't believe it. I thought I looked good. What was wrong with me today? It's things like that. I did all that work and nobody even said boo. It was like it never happened. Don't worry about it, okay? That comes back around. Don't worry. Judgment energy comes around and things like that. You are praised to the highest extent. So don't worry about it. Don't let it eat at you, okay? And I don't know who that's really for here. It's probably for a couple of you, but obviously your angels, your guides are working through before you. Sun in Capricorn, moon in Leo, Venus. Venus is kind of arguing with Neptune. So if we're not feeling right about the relationships, or we're kind of up and down, or we expect, here's probably the thing, is we have this picture in our mind of what our relationship should look like, and we are going to see everything that's sticking out that doesn't work in our box, and we're going to expect that. Okay, so probably, I heard once upon a time Venus and Neptune arguing is enjoy art and beauty and love, but don't confuse it with life. Okay, because we all have the little points sticking out of our perfect boxes, and that's what makes us unique. That's what truly makes us beautiful. So just watch where you're trying to get that picture perfect relationship, or it's almost like we get a little unrealistic with our demands from our partners and our view of, and that could be our relationships, our coworkers, the community, our spouses, our children, our parents, whatever that relationship is, our tight relationships, our best friends. Okay, so don't get unrealistic with your demands. Back it up a little bit and think about what you are asking for. Okay, and know that it's not all going to fit in that perfect square, right? There's going to be little points coming out. We want those little points, okay? It's those really big, nasty ones that we want to avoid, okay? But on the other side of it, Venus and Mars is having the time of their life up in the sky talking it out. So this is where we get the strong desire for adventure, for pleasure, for joy, and we have this great energy. We have this natural courage. Forget the 8 energy and tapping into that, because it comes through easily enough with this energy if we want to tap into it as well. And this is a time when we can go out there and we can find somebody beautiful and new to come into our life, invite into our life. This could be where we could improve that existing relationship. So first of all, make sure that your box, okay, has a couple of points coming out of it, and that's fine. We don't want the perfection. We don't want to be unrealistic in our demands of another. Or ourselves, the love of ourselves. Don't forget that. You want the little points, okay? Coming out of the box for Carrie. You want to color outside the lines slightly. That's what makes you beautiful, okay? But this is a time, you do things through creativity to make money, to enhance beauty or create beauty, or yeah, but tapping into your creativity, making it unique, making it special, making it yours. Or if it's in relationships, growing that relationship. I think this is a day when Venus and Mars are getting together, we get along with each other a lot better, and we can work harder and better as a team for a greater success. So if there's things like that where everybody's been trying to pick a day to get together and do this, you want to get on the texting or email or phone and say, hey, you know what, this afternoon would be a great time to do that. And the energy builds up, and this is exact today, so it will. Tomorrow will be another day where we can do it too. Tomorrow morning. Anyways, let's get to the cards. So it is a beautiful energy kind of day, but we just have to make sure that we're not being unrealistic in our demands with another. Okay. Let's see here. Our shadow card is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is about, this is my knight in shining armor guy, right? You guys know that. He's not in armor. He doesn't have a weapon. He's got that beautiful big blanket on the back. So that's got to be our picnic blanket. And he's probably got on the other side, we can't see it, but there's probably a big, huge a saddle bag full of food and drink. And he's got his goblet in his hand. He's ready to do some socializing. Even his horse is looking beautiful, isn't it? So this is about taking some time out to enjoy the beauty that is around us, to see it, to marvel in it, to understand that it's all ours and it's there even when we don't notice it. This is about creating beauty. Maybe it's through our friendships. Maybe it's through our scenery. Maybe it's through our environment. Maybe it's through our prayer, our spiritual, through meditation, or when we're journaling and it comes out in a beauty that we've never written about before, we've never created before in such a way. Maybe you're a painter and it's just something new, and just go with the flow and see what comes of it. Okay, so that's our shadow card. So it's mainly about enjoying the beauty, celebrating the beauty, acting upon the beauty to bring in more beauty and more abundance and more growth and more love. Okay, our first card. Look at this, the Knight of Pentacles. Go with the flow. Okay, you want to go forward in your abundance. Okay, there's our abundance. We're holding it straight out there in front of us. We also are not wearing any kind of armor. We don't have a weapon, but I don't even think we've packed a lunch here. We're going with the flow. We are under the belief, when this card comes out, we are under the belief that if I'm hungry, food will be provided. If I need a place to sleep, a bed will be there. If I need new clothing, the clothing will come. If I need this will happen. If I need somebody to come in and start doing the bookkeeping, it'll happen. If I need somebody to come in and start doing the cleaning, it'll happen. Or I need somebody to, whatever you need, okay? Whatever your needs are, your wants are, your desires are. It's putting them forward out there. It's going forward. It's moving. You're moving here on this horse. You're not stationary, but you're going with the flow and you're trusting. You're trusting that if you do the steps and you go forward each and every day and you take those baby steps and you apply your focus to your dreams, your desires, that it will, when the timing is right, those things will come into our existence. Okay. Now, the thing is when it does come into our existence, because we asked for it, last October, and all of a sudden it shows up in your path today, you're probably going to be like, no, that's okay. I'm not going to answer that ad, or I'm not going to make that phone call. I'm not going to reply to this email. But that was the end. That was the gate opening for us. So often we think that we don't get it but something comes in that says, you should do this. And you say, no, I don't want to, because we all have free will. And so then they have to go back to work and align it all for you again. So just say yes the first time. Go with the flow a little bit. Take a risk. Have some courage. And bring out your strength to take that risk on yourself, that educated risk on yourself. Absolutely. We have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is standing in our truth. Five of Swords, some people might not like what we're saying. They'll walk away. So this is where we might make compromises in order to bring in the beauty, bring in the harmony, and we're sacrificing something in the process. And so compromising in life is good, but not at the cost of who you are, your values, your beliefs, your wants, your needs. That's unacceptable. So you have to stand strong for who you are. And you want to go a certain path, and everybody says that's pure nonsense, and they're shaking their head at you, and they think that you've lost your marbles. Sometimes you have to stand firm. Now, the other side of this is sometimes we get ourselves in a corner in our ego, right? They've offered help, and you should have said yes, and now they're you don't want to say yes because you don't want to be that person, but say yes, okay? Don't let that ego build a bridge, build a wall that shouldn't be there in the first place. A bridge would be good. The wall, not so much. So we have to watch what we're standing for and what we are believing in ourselves and why we are walking away from situations. And the Eight of Swords, wow, so our perceptions change here. We see things from a different angle. Maybe we're taking in that beauty, or we go in search of that beauty, and we see things for the first time ever that we've never seen before, and it changes our perception in some way, our knowing in some way. Don't forget, we have that 17 energy in our numerology today, so that is making the impossible possible. Right? Impossible, possible. It's about a belief and growing that belief. So maybe you look within and you see the beauty for the first time within you that you've never seen before, and marvel in it if you do, please. But wherever you get this illumination, I hear, but this understanding, this wisdom, this clarity, this just knowing, all of a sudden it's just a knowing that you have. You understand your capabilities so much more, or the way you can go forward in what you want to do, and what you want to grow, and what you want to step into. So for some reason, and this is usually some kind of self-sabotage, okay? And we didn't mean to sabotage ourselves. We would never sabotage ourselves. We always thought we were taking the best road forward each and every time. It's called the survival. It's called survival. We're wired for that. Okay, we'll never make a wrong decision for ourselves. Could there have been better decisions? Maybe, but we didn't have the wisdom. We didn't have the clarity and the understanding in order to know that that was available to us at that time. So we picked the best option at the time. Okay, each and every time. But sometimes we've talked our way into a certain place, and that becomes the law. That becomes the way we act, interact, the way we step forward, the way we pull back. So we get this new perception. We get this new understanding. We realize that we could do this instead of that. We could step this way instead of that way. We could go back to school. We could get a mentor. We could go for therapy. We could start a group. We could join a group. What could we do? What could we do? The world is your oyster. What would you like to do? Because for whatever reason you have been telling yourself you cannot do that, yes, you can. And today is that day when, we can't have this much beauty with Venus talking to Mars so happily, and just Venus itself being the star of the show for today. We possibly can't have that kind of magic in the air when it comes to, remember, Venus is love and it is money. It is our abundance. So, yeah. So, miracles, epiphanies, aha moments, things just come together. Just look for the beauty today. And then see how you can create that beauty in your life going forward. We have intuition. Trust your intuition. So that is really going with the flow. That is believing in yourself, believing in that gut feeling, listening to yourself, listening to that gut feeling. And it's a knowing without knowing how you should know that sometimes. You just do. Your intuition is a gift to you. It is your divine intelligence guiding you in all ways, in your thoughts, words, dreams, and deeds. Everyone has intuitive abilities that need to be put into practice when facing challenges. You may experience this as a gut feeling or maybe a hunch, and that may be a very accurate indicator of the right choices for you. Practicing and exercising your intuitive abilities can strengthen these gifts, which can give you the advantage when making decisions. Developing your intuitive abilities is probably one of the most valuable things you will ever do for yourself. Intuition is a very accurate guiding force in all aspects of life and can contribute to your success and your fulfillment. The mantra is, I trust my intuition to guide me in all areas of my life. So trust your intuition, trust your inner knowing. Go with the flow. See what happens. And who do we have here? Look at that. What did I say? About the beauty, about the love. Okay, deer. The deer is love. Oh, there we go. Be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. So see the light in all things is really what Venus trine Mars, I think it's a trine anyways. They are getting along in the sky. It may not be a trine. But they are getting along up in the sky. I do know that much for sure. Venus and Mars. Darn, I had it. See the light in all things. So look for the beauty. Absolutely look for the beauty. Look for the beauty in yourself, in your plan forward. Look in the beauty in your environment, in what you want to build and what you want to grow, and what you are growing and what you are already evolving into something beautiful. Most of all, evolving yourself into the beautiful person that you already are, really. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.